Okay, listen to this. If you add up all the numbers, thank you, Scott. Scott Path, 666, 16166. Thanks, Scott. 351 is the number count, and the total alphabets from 1 to 26. If you continue on from 1 to 26, then you go from 1 to 36. Instead of it being 351, it becomes 666 less the 351 leaves you with a total of 315, which is the exact reverse of the 351. It also spells ace, ace. In 351, if you were bowling, 300 would be the game, you would be the vowels. The total of the vowel count, 51. If you add them both up together under and over each other, from 666 minus the 351 equaling to 315, it equals again 666. Now what happens to 0? Everybody wants to know what happens to 0. You split 0 in half, you get double D's. Double D's, Barack Obama, the 44th president. At the same time you split them in half, you get 111. The passage is 1. We now remove anything that's got a curvature line. It now creates 3. 111, 3. 3, 111. 111 times 3 is 333. 3 times 111, 333. Again, we have 666. When we put the Olympic circles together, what happens? It creates horseshoes. Because this is the I, remove the I, you're left with 2 C's, or what represents the horseshoes. Because there's a block. If you don't put a block here and here, the 0 will slide into this 0. So we need an arm that goes over this one and over this one, and that's why you see it in the alphabet. At the same time, okay, I'm going to just jump off to something else. The word peg leg equals to 757353. That's the same thing as saying 1776, 2014, or 5775 in the Hebrew count, the Hebrew calendar, in which equals to the size of the football field, where they kick off, and the points scored. Okay? Do you want to see what a keyhole looks like? This is a keyhole. It's a woman on the bathroom door. This is the man, and this is the woman. She's the keyhole, the entrance to all. This is what she looks like when she's walking. If you just put it over here, she looks like a bird. There's her tail, or actually the dust she's kicking up. See, I told you 1776 or 1775, because you got to play with it. You want to go off ice or on ice? Because off ice can say office. Also, 15th letter, 6th letter 6 says 666 of 935. What is 935? Just like I showed you over here on the peg leg. 35. 59 is the clock. Tick tock, tick tock. I don't hear any sound, a voice, but she's talking. Don't you worry, she's talking. Is there any else I have to write? Yeah, Nibiru is the wizard. Why? Because Nibiru means nigh, by, or bye, bye, nigh. 9, 911. Nibiru, the last 2 letters says street. R and U say street in French. The center 2 letters of Einstein, S and T, also say street. And the last one that I would use is R and D, because road or third or wizard, R and D. Now what's so funny about this is S and T in the letter count of Gematria is 39. The letter count for road or re without the E is also 39. Add the E because it's in this world, it's 44 again, or 2 zeros split in half. What more do I have to say? Nothing much more than 1776. I'm going to show you one more thing. 1776, 15 times 15 is 225. If you add 5775 to 225, it ends up equaling, okay, to 6,000. The year 6,000, 6001, which is 1776 is 1771. Doesn't really matter, because in the center, the ace dot belongs in the center, which becomes a 1 dot, but in the 5 area. Okay? 17 quarters, if I remember correctly. 71 quarters equals 1775, plus 1, 1776. 9 quarters equals 225, and brings that 1775 to the year 2000, add the 1 again, 2001. You think things don't work together? 15 by 15 is the egg. 15 plus 15 is 30. It totals 525, or the remainder of time after 360 degrees, in which 60 is a representation of 4. Remove that, and we now have the game of bowling of 300. Split that in half because of the 2 zeros. We have 150. Now, if you reverse the 150, take away the zeros of 5, 115. The 5115 that I've done previously is 1776. Reverse the 677. 1, and again, because 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. That's the way it works. I didn't make this up. I get it in my dreams. I dream about all these things. I don't read. I only read so I can update myself for a better understanding. When I go to sleep at night, I think of something. I make a prayer to the north, the east, and the west, and the south. That's my spirit. And the south, the letter is 1 and 9. The other letters calculate to 555. I put my 2 hands over my eyes, and I wait, and I wait, and I open them inside my head, and there's a little light that comes open, and then I start to see the circle that comes all the way far, far in front of my nose, and I can see a light. I know there's something else. My end date is the month of October in 2014. This dice, can you see all the sides? Except for this one, it says 7. Except for this one, it says 7. They're all 5s. 5775. It also says 4 by 5 because we're now in the E world. We have to count all the sides because we are connected from the north and the south. 4 5s is 20. 2 7s is 14. 2014. 5775. 1776. Raphael 7286. You know what's just funny is I just looked up in gematria my name, and well, you know gematria. That's the way I call it, or Jiminy Crickets. It means, oh, I should have thought. You know what I'm saying? I should have thought. Pinocchio, I shouldn't have lied. Jiminy Crickets, I should have thought. Pedophile, the name of the guy who made them. He's also a pedophile. Look it up in the book. There's many other things I have found too, but we'll leave it for this. I just want to say hello to Krista K. You've been an inspiration in the continuation of our talks on Facebook, and I'd like to thank you. Scott, I'd like to thank you. Alfred Weber, I'd like to thank you. Don, I've been trying to get onto your radio show. I can't figure it out. If you want to know what I think about myself when it comes to computers, just look up the 2 words, Mud Runner. Because Rud Munner actually backwards is saying dumb red, which means the blood flow is, I don't know. I'm not really good with the computers. Again, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus, and of the other places in the world of Africa, Baffin Islands, and Nunavut, where they all stand out. I thank you all. Thank you one more time. Thank you.